What's good YouTube, it's your boy MVT and welcome back to the What MVT Thinks channel where we cover everything movie and TV shows related. Now in today's video guys, we're going to be talking about Power, but more importantly, Power Book 4 Force Season 2 Episode 1 which just dropped today. Now if you guys haven't seen that episode, I'd highly suggest going and watching that episode and then coming back to this video, as in this video there will be spoilers and I don't want anyone to be upset with me. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about episode 1 in the comment section below if you guys have seen it. Now personally, I think that this season will be way better than season 1. I know a lot of you didn't really like season 1 of book 4 Force, but as I said, I reckon that this season will be way better. So without further ado, let's head straight into today's episode. So season 2 starts off exactly where season 1 ended as expected. Tommy is still dealing with the death of Liliana. He's hearing her voice in his head and he knows that he needs to avenge her death ASAP. He wants whoever is responsible to suffer, and he ends up interrogating and killing one of Walter Flynn's men, trying to find out where he's hiding. As we know, Tommy blames Liliana's death on Walter Flynn, so he's not going to stop until he perishes and everyone else involved perishes. As left off from season 1, CBI have split down the middle, Diamond going his way with Tommy taking all the north side territory, whilst Jannard taking the rest with whoever decided to go with him. Tommy and Diamond seem to have their business calculated and structured, with an abundance of product, even being able to drop the rates for their team, meaning that the price for each key goes down from 34, which they used to get from Jannard, to 31, showing them that working for them is the way that everybody will eat and is the best option. Meanwhile, we see that Jannard clearly is struggling to get things in place across the whole episode. He's low on product, bodies and blocks. He owes Miguel money, who is the new Connect, and when he tries to ask Miguel for an extension, which clearly he was already shook to do in the first place, he ends up pretty much getting a death threat and given to the end of the week to pay. I'm telling you, this episode Jannard was under some serious pressure from multiple angles. It was actually kind of funny to watch in my opinion, because this is what happens when you snake your family and your friends. This is what happens when you turn your back on the people that matter to you. Walter Flynn is also feeling pressure from Dublin. If you guys remember from the last season, they sent a group of hitters to come and help take out Tommy, and as we all know, they failed miserably. But now they want someone to pay the price for that, and that someone is going to be Walter. They've given him to the end of the month to pay a certain figure. Now we don't actually know what this figure is, but we do know that it's a substantial amount, and it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out and to find out whether or not Walter Flynn is actually able to pay that money or not. We do find out later on in the episode that he doesn't have enough money to actually cover what they've asked. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how he manages this pressure and if he's able to wiggle himself out of this situation somehow. We also still see Vic grieving, mourning the death of Gloria. We see him hitting the bottle real hard in the early morning, and we know that he knows that his dad is responsible, but he's kind of conflicted whether or not he wants to actually do something or whether he don't want to do something. And obviously the news from Dublin and that pressure coming on the family has kind of highlighted how important the family unit is right now. So we might not see him actually act on this until a bit later on in the episode, maybe when things die down with Dublin and the storyline kind of progresses. Moving on to the next member of the Flynn family, we have Claudia, who wants Tommy dead real bad. He doesn't know it yet, but she was the one that actually killed Liliana, and she knows full well that once he finds out, she's going to be dealt with. And this is clearly putting her on edge. She has a plan to try and smoke Tommy before that he smokes her, but as we know, it's probably not going to work out that way. To be honest, I don't think that she's going to be a casualty of war this season, but we're just going to have to see how it plays out. Her and Tommy are definitely going to be going at it, and once he finds out that she was the one that actually pulled the trigger, I feel really sorry for her, I'm gonna be honest. We also see her and Vic talk business and decide to go into Dahlia together 50-50, which inevitably was short-lived, as once Tommy finds out, he got JP to leak the formula online for everyone to see and use, essentially making Dahlia worthless, as now everybody can make it. This was a sick move by Tommy in my opinion. Claudia doesn't actually know that it was him. She thought that it was the chemist and went and shot her in the head out of rage. Absolute mad gal if you ask me. When Diamond and Tommy go to meet the Connect, the dynamics are a little different to how it was when Jannard went for his visit. In my opinion, it's clear that Miguel has way more respect for Diamond than he does Jannard. As well as this, Tommy and Diamond are not coming with their hands out asking for an extension or anything like that. It's rather the opposite. They're coming with double the money for the re-up, clearly showing Miguel that they're serious and that they mean business. This is also the first of many interactions that Tommy has with Maria, who is Miguel's sister. Now it's clear from the first interaction that Tommy does have some form of interest in her. He sees her again later on in the episode at a bus stop. Whilst offering to give her a lift to work, she rejects his offer and makes it clear that she doesn't want any involvement with him, anyone to do with the street life, or anyone that works for or with her brother. She also told Tommy that he would probably die soon. Absolute mad gal if you ask me. Now they do have one more interaction before the end of the episode when D-Mac is at the hospital with an infection in his gun wound. Tommy sees Maria as she is a doctor and he asks her to help D-Mac. Now it's quite funny as well because after the conversation that Maria and Tommy have, she walks off and another doctor slaps her ass and gives her a kiss. So it's clear that she's currently in a situationship of some sort, and I think that this is going to be really interesting to see how it plays out between her and Tommy, because I definitely feel like they will have some form of love story that blossoms over the next few episodes, and we're just going to have to kind of see how that plays out. Now we'll be making a separate video, sort of like a theory video on their relationship and the potential of their relationship and where it might go and what might happen. So let me know your thoughts and opinions of that in the comment section below, and make sure you guys subscribe to see that video within the next few days. We also see Merovich return this episode. Now he pulls up on Tommy and Diamond regarding the territory that he believes is his from what Jannard had promised him, but the part of the territory wasn't actually Jannard's to negotiate in the first place. Tommy stands tall on the principle that the blocks and the territory that Merovich is talking about is his and that they're not going to be moving. If he wants them back, he's going to have to get them back in blood. This scene for me was what Tommy needed. The gang saw that he has a voice and that he's not going to bend and fold to the Serbs. Inevitably, this move is going to make the gang have way more respect for Tommy, as they're going to see what he's made of and what he's about from early. This now creates more problems for Jannard, as now he has Merovich on his back asking him why the territory is not his when he already promised it to him. Merovich has basically threatened Jannard to say he's going to become his endless nightmare if he doesn't get what he was promised. So Jannard is going to need to find a way of getting that territory that he already agreed to Diamond back, or else it's not going to be looking good for him. I'm telling you, this season may very well be the season that we see the end of Jannard, because he's been making way too many bad mistakes. We also have Chewie, who's a new character. Now from the start we see that he's going to be a problem in my opinion. He's asking way too many questions, constantly talking, and he doesn't know his place. You can tell from the start that this guy is just not going to last long. Later on in the episode, Jannard approaches him, finding out whether or not his loyalty is with Diamond or whether it's with him, and Chewie decides that he's gonna say fuck Tommy and Diamond and go with Jannard. When I saw this, I knew that this guy has a death wish. He clearly doesn't know who he's dealing with in Tommy. Diamond eventually finds out that Chewie switched sides with Jannard, and he tells Tommy, which is enough for Tommy to sign the death warrant himself. He goes and finds Chewie in the old Tommy fashions and cancels Christmas on him forever. RIP to Chewie, man, but this is a good lesson on loyalty, especially if that's the life that you're living. Now the feds have also been all over Tommy all episode. They've been trying to identify who he is. They currently have pictures but no name. They actually managed to pull a fingerprint off of his car door handle, and it's not looking good. Later on in the episode we see that the feds are able to identify Tommy from the fingerprint, and with this they get information of his past and find out that he's actually supposedly dead. So with this information they're trying to figure out whether or not he actually faked his own death or not, and whether or not they have the wrong person. They're going to be requesting a task force just for him, and if they get the go ahead, which I believe they probably will, this is going to get hot real quick in my opinion. We also see Kate, D-Mac and JP currently staying or living together, it depends how you want to look at it, and from what it seems Kate is actually doing really well. She's refusing drugs from Tommy, and that was quite surprising to me, I'm not gonna lie. I think the fact that she has this newfound grandson, it might very well have made her change some form of impact in her life, so this might actually be a good thing for her. Tommy brought a bar and he gave it to JP. As we all know, Tommy doesn't want him involved in the drug or the street life, and this way Tommy's going to know that he's safe, and he's also going to know where he is. And I'm guessing later on down the line he's probably going to want to use that location as a money laundering location for the drug business as well. This also gives D-Mac a place to work and allows him the opportunity to also get out of the road life, which we know JP doesn't want him in. This episode will also introduce to Tyrone Reeves, who is Diamond's new parole officer. Now he might prove to be a problem for Diamond later on in the season. He doesn't seem like he's going to be able to be bribed like the previous parole officer. He's made it very clear that if Diamond is even seen seen with any felons, he will be going back to prison. Not to mention that he's also going to be subject to things like random house searches, business searches, and random drug tests. So Diamond is definitely going to have to find a way to move diligently if he wants to take over the streets and avoid going back to prison. So we're going to have to see how this plays out, but I definitely think that Tyrone Reeves is going to be a problem later on in the season. In a nutshell, that's essentially what happened in season 2 episode 1. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Now, I will be having 3 episodes of theories between now and next week. I'm not going to tell you guys what the theories are going to be on, but they will be very, very interesting, and I will be opening up the discussion for a few things to happen this season. So if you guys like the sound of that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future uploads. If you guys did like this video, please do drop a like, as it does help me way more than you guys could actually possibly imagine, and just drop your thoughts and opinions on this video in the comment section below. As I said, I want to open up the discussion for Power Book 4 Force Season 2. Let me know your thoughts and opinions again, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. It's been your boy MVT. Until next time. Shabba!